Palace 0, Manchester United 2. I'm joined by James here. James, a disappointing defeat, of course. You don't want your team to lose, but as a whole, there were positives there from Palace. The effort was there, I thought, from the players. And overall, when you're looking at what was the changing factor, I think it was the refereeing decisions, which were absolutely shocking. But what do you make of the game?
Yeah, I think it was just quite nice to see an actual performance. Like, fair enough, we lost. Nothing we can do about that. Two very, very good goals. You can't deny either of their goals were very, very good goals. Rashford ruined us, and then the link-up play for Martial's goal was really good. You can't do much about that. But the fact that we actually fought for the ball, we pressed and we wanted to go for it. Like in the first 60-odd seconds, Wolf has a shot that pretty easy for De Gea to palm away, but at least we actually put some effort into the game, and that's something that has clearly been missing in the 4 or 5 games prior.
Yeah, what did you think of Wilfried Zaha starting up top? I thought it gave him more freedom to go and do his usual thing of attacking and not actually focusing to defend, and I thought it helped this game. But what do you make of it? Because he did go past Maguire a couple of times, and that has happened in the past. But yeah, overall, I thought he had one of his better games as of recent.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the most improved I've seen Wolf since lockdown, barring the Bournemouth game. But the 4 or 5 games prior to that, obviously he went off injured against Liverpool, but the 3 or 4 other games in between that, he's just looked completely disinterested. Tonight he was attacking players, like you said. He went past Maguire with ease quite a few times, and he looked like he wanted it again. And I think I mentioned it last time that we spoke, but it looks now that he's realised he needs to up his game if he does want to take that next step from Palace. And that can obviously only benefit us for the last couple of games of the season, and equally with his money, like the money that we get for him, sorry. But yeah, in fairness, I don't really think anyone in the team had a bad game.
Yeah, I don't think so as well. I thought we played as a team, as a whole. Defensively, we were fine. The midfield helped out. Defending, of course, we conceded some poor goals.
You could say I don't think there were poor goals to concede.
I thought the first goal. What do you make of the first goal? Luca, you went for a challenge, you completely missed him. Then Patrick Van Aanholt and Joe Ward, I'm not too sure what was going on there. So you thought the second goal was brilliant in my eyes, but I'm not too sure about the first goal. But you see it differently?
Well, yeah, fair enough. Maybe the build-up play before the ball gets to Rashford, we maybe could have stopped. But the moment Rashford gets that ball, he turns on a sixpence. Like, he wipes out all of our defenders. And I don't think like Vincent Kompany in his prime or anything like that would have been able to really prevent that. He literally ruins all of them, and he just passes it past Guaita. You can't really, we don't have a play, like we've got Wolf who can do tricks, but he's got none of that composure in the box. Like, he can't just stop a ball and then just pass it around. And it was like 8 minutes in, we had a ball was like pinging around in their area. Wolf had an opportunity to hit it first time, but because he's not that like instinctive goal scorer, he missed it. Whereas Rashford literally just destroys us, and you can't do anything about that really. Like, honestly, I don't think we were actually at fault for either of the goals. The second goal was class.
Yeah, second goal was absolutely class from them. Yeah, I think it took 2 passes to open us up like that, and it was just class, just great movement by them. But let's talk about some of the refereeing decisions and some VAR decisions, because we saw what happened against us in a Villa game, and this game it doesn't matter what happened really, because still I thought it was the first decision. I thought it should have been a penalty on Wilfried Zaha. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't really understand it. The commentators were saying it wasn't clear and obvious, but it was clear and obvious that he hit Wilfried. Like, you can't get more clear than that. It's not like he tripped him up. It was a kick. He kicked Wilfried Zaha, from behind. So what can you do when you're Wilf running at full speed? I thought that was a very, very poor decision. And let's say that was a penalty and we scored a goal, could be a different game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is we were pushing. And United were scared of us because we were pushing them. They know full well that they did not deserve to go in at half-time 1-0 up. Not a chance. Any Man United fan with half a brain cell knows that. If that had been given a penalty, and it definitely should have been, like 100% it was a penalty. If you get the man and then the ball, it's a free kick. it's a penalty. Wherever you are, if you get the man first and then the ball, it doesn't matter. It's a free kick or a penalty. Obviously, in this case, a penalty. I like VAR. The second one, the IU goal is just baffling. We've seen it so many times, but you can't legislate for it. Like, it's basically a toenail that is apparently offside. And before VAR came in, the linesman was always told, give the benefit of the doubt to the attacker. Now, there is no benefit of the doubt. It's millimetres and you're offside. And don't get me wrong, VAR is very good in some aspects, but 95% of it, it's dross. Like, there's no need.
Yeah, it was for the second one. You're saying clear and obvious. That's what they've been saying all this time. And where's the clear and obvious in that? You
Exactly.
can't look at someone's toe and say he was clear and obviously offside because his toe was it was 1 centimeter ahead. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And this line itself, there's been conversation going on about it all season. Is that even accurate itself? So I don't understand how they give that how they disallow that goal. But yeah, they scored a brilliant goal, 2-0. Overall, I thought we had a good game. But looking ahead to the next game against Wolves, I think when you're looking at some of the merits, some of the positives from this game, it's a positive. It's a positive going into the Wolves game. It's a positive for once. Looking ahead to a Palace game, and it's different for once.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, you look at Twitter today before the game, any Palace fan that I follow was basically just going, we're going to get ruined. It's the first game that I've not been excited about watching, all of that sort of stuff. And I was in the same ilk, like, completely. I 100%, because of the last 4 performances against Villa and Burnley in particular, that were just awful, and Leicester, I was just expecting us to basically roll over and have our tummies tickled. Like, it was just, that is what I was expecting. But we actually put in a bit of fight. And I do think, I don't agree with all 3 of our central midfielders being holding midfielders, but MacArthur and McCarthy did at least sort of try and push it on, and they sort of let Luca be the one that sits back. And I don't actually think Luca had too bad a game, but when you're playing 3 defensive midfielders, there's no. The only issue that I had is that there was no sort of link between Wilf, Ayew and Townsend and our midfield 3. MacArthur and McCarthy were trying to push up there, but it's not their game. That's not how they know how to play. But like you say, we did have a good game, and genuinely, I'm not overly disheartened. I was expecting the score to be a cricket score.
Yeah, with the midfield 3, I think that's been the story of the season so far. In regards to just having 3 defensive midfielders, and you're asking an awful lot from our front 3 to really go and beat their back 4 plus their defensive midfielders. So I think that's that. I'm not surprised about that. It is what it is. This is Roy Hodgson football. But finally, if you had to pick one player as your man of the match, who would it be?
Probably Wilf. Like we said earlier, it's the first time I've seen him, barring the Bournemouth game, attack with intent, not just attack with no intent to actually go anywhere. He wanted to beat Maguire all the time, and we should have been given a penalty, as I said. So Wilf, and then probably McCarthy would be sort of second in line. I thought McCarthy had a really strong game.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Both Wilf and McCarthy, I think Wilf playing up top has helped them massively, and hopefully we can see more of that going forward. But thank you for joining me, James. And as always, leave down your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Until next time, up the Palace.